Hello, this is World University and Schools News and Question and Answer on Monday, February 4th, 2020 at 10 a.m. Pacific time in the San Francisco Bay Area. I think it's 5 p.m., possibly 6 p.m. in Western Europe. Universal Coordinated Time. Please join this hangout, this real-time conversation with your ideas, your questions, and similar on a Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. If you're in Asia, if you're in Africa, if you're in Australia, if you're in any part of the world, please join. This real-time video conferencing possibility, which streams to YouTube's live stream and is also recorded to YouTube on World University and Schools channel, youtube.com/WORLD, UNIVANDSCH. Similarly with Twitter, twitter.com/WORLD, UNIVANDSCH. is specifically for conversation. We welcome you. The conversation broadens World University and Schools developments. So World University and School is seeking 502,000 undergraduate students this autumn, 2020, as we license with the state of California's Bureau for Private Post-Secondary Education, BPPE, and then begin accreditation, probably with WASC Senior, Western Association of Schools and Colleges. So if we can, we'll get 500 students from Germany, for example, who speak English, and 300 students from India who speak English. And in a potential platform for MIT OpenCourseWare courses that World University and School is seeking to collaborate with, World University and School is in communication, ongoing communication with edX, whose CEO is Anant Agarwal, a professor of electrical engineering and computer science as well at MIT, and exploring the possibility of MIT X courses that have been translated from MIT OpenCourseWare courses. There are about 205 courses from MIT OpenCourseWare put into MIT X. So this platform will be potentially very helpful for people in many different time zones. So that's this autumn, 2020, World University and School's second matriculating undergraduate class for free to students bachelor's degrees that center around MIT OpenCourseWare. So I just want to share some items here from monthly business meeting this past 2 Saturdays ago, February 15th, 2020. And that first monthly business meeting is listening via the opportunity for you to participate in open monthly business meeting electronically and in the manner of friends or Quakers, and in ways you'd like to share. So, for example, you can share ideas or questions, and not only by coming to monthly business meeting, third Saturdays of the month, but also coming to these Monday question and answer news sessions that you can join in Lightstream here. So World University and School's email is info@worlduniversityandschool.org. That's also our website address. We're updating the website again now that we have a secure FTP port. And please come and join. We're listening, and these electronically mediated opportunities make it possible for a conversation to emerge. The next item I'd like to share with you is that in seeking 500 to 2,000 online students for free to students bachelor's degrees, as we begin licensing with BPPE, World University and School seeks to create an enormous number of high-quality careers. And in all 200 countries and in all 7,111 known living languages, potentially about 2.2 million jobs in all 200 countries' official, main, and small languages. So students who matriculated would also help create the beginnings of this whole process. Students who matriculate this autumn 2020. The next item I'd like to share with you, and I'll post the minutes blog link below the YouTube recording of today's WUAS news and question and answer. The next item I'd like to share with you is that WUS may head to California Bureau for Private Post-Secondary Education licensing workshop on May 13th, 2020 in Sacramento, California, since monies are now newly available to World University and School for BPPE licensing. And instead of on March 11th, coming up soon, World University and School will head potentially to this BPPE licensing workshop on around May 13th. World University and School first attended a California BPPE workshop on 2/20/2019, so about a year ago in San Jose, California, and in a sense got the green light that World University and School can license with BPPE for both bachelor and PhD degrees. Incredible. Online, free to students, MIT OpenCourseWare centric bachelor and PhD degrees in English licensed by BPPE are planned at World University and School, potentially our second undergraduate class this autumn 2020, and potentially first PhD matriculating class in the autumn of 2021 would matriculate. That's all in development. The next item I'd like to share with you is that World University and School is seeking monies now for accreditation, probably with WASC Senior, and concurrently as we begin licensing with California's BPPE, for which monies have newly become available. The next item I'd like to share with you is that World University and School's PayPal donation link is newly back on worlduniversityandschool.org's website. Our website's been hacked a number of times, and we now have a secure port. So the link is there. The link will also be below this YouTube video recording. And World University and School is a 501c3 tax-exempt charity in US federal law and welcomes your tax-exempt donations. In addition, because we're now updating our website again, World University and School has re-added 6 main wiki subjects and areas that had been hacked and removed, like the PayPal donation button. So these are for free wiki editing for open teaching and learning. And the 6 items, the 6 wiki subject pages that are planned actually in all 200 countries in their official languages, and also planned as needed in all 7,111 known living languages. The 6 items are library resources, museums, hardware resource possibilities, educational software, the foundation at World University and School, and research that would focus on best STEM humanities and humanities, Creative Commons 4 open courseware approaches. With regard to library resources, World University and School is envisioning facilitating all libraries ever in all 7,111 known living languages as wiki pages, and which libraries would also be accessible conceptually in Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Maps, Google Earth, Google TensorFlow, Translate, for accessing books and library resources over the centuries, over the millennia even. So as an example, you could go into Google Street View and find your way to the Smithsonian or the Library of Congress in the Washington, D.C. area in the year 1875 and pull a book off the stacks in Google Street View and read that book right there. And then potentially a week later, you could go back to that same Google Street View Smithsonian Library of Congress and time slide forward to 1910 and pull 5 more books off that would have been updated in that week from the library stacks from 35 years later and read them there. This is a very potentially cool and extraordinary set of developing resources. In addition, World University and School, with regard to museums, wants to make available in something like a realistic virtual Earth, a single realistic virtual Earth, all museums in all 7,000 known living languages as wiki pages, and also in Google Street View as virtual museums for visiting. Google Street View with Time Slider, Maps, Earth, TensorFlow. Translate, go back to the Louvre in Google Street View in the year 1456 and visit the museum as it was at that time. And the Louvre in this Google Street View envisioning would be constantly iterating, constantly improving with data resources for the year 1456, and therefore worth going back and helping to show new aspects of the Louvre in 1456. And we potentially could all add to this as wiki editors, teachers, curators, and this would all be integrated to these various years as we add photographs or videos or documents, art from, for example, the year 1456. Hardware resources we want to make available great ideas about hardware resource possibilities with a tending towards the open and free. Hardware seems like it's more often something that a cost is associated with, yet we'd like to create these wiki subject pages. This one wiki subject page can expand into tens of thousands for innovation and open sharing about hardware resource possibilities in all 200 countries, main languages. Similarly with educational software. Add all those good ideas and coding that graduate students make. Perhaps half-finished projects that still have great utility, that are adaptable, buildable upon. The foundation at WS is oriented towards making World University and School sustainable. The list of board members are there, for example. And in terms of research, World University and School is very computing oriented. We're also MIT OpenCourseware centric oriented, and in a single realistic virtual earth. Conceptually at the street view level, the cellular level, and the atomic or molecular level, all integrated. Google Street View with time slider. Go back to the beginning of life, potentially. So the next item I'd like to share with you is that in planning for online law schools at World University and School, in all 200 countries planned online law schools in those countries' official languages and main languages, World University is exploring collaboration for licensing courses. So this would be courses for students who were interested in becoming regulators, perhaps, or who were involved in the regulation process of particularly cryptocurrency compliance. So as cryptocurrencies, as digital currencies emerge, there will probably be regulation accompanied with them, and there will probably be courses that lawyers and others will take in order to learn in their country various approaches to regulating digital currency, a digital currency, many digital currencies. And particularly in nation states in Europe, the European Union, because the euro has approximately a 20-year history, and it's in 19 out of 28 countries, and it probably has already courses for regulating the paper currency of the euro as it also emerges electronically. Digital currency is coming on board with distributed ledger technologies, blockchain ledger technologies. All of this will involve study, and World University and Schools, law schools seek to offer such courses, potentially in collaboration with Stanford Law Codex, and even brainstorming-wise via Law Pilot, which is already offering online courses in Europe and some other countries around GDPR regulation. You can see some links for this in the minutes that I'll post below this YouTube recording. So with regard to you at World University and School, which is a wiki subject presently at World University and School, and which Brainstorming Wise is planning for all 7.5 billion people on the planet as wiki teachers, as wiki learners, as universitians, both matriculated students, eventually in all 200 countries, languages for online degrees, bachelor, PhD, law, medicine, and IB high school, but also for even universal basic income experiments to possibly facilitate distributing a single cryptocurrency. And these UBI experiments would be to alleviate poverty. World University and School may seek to collaborate with Alphabet, Google, and their CEO, Sundar Pichai, who is also exploring in India plus codes, PLUSCODES, that would be for adding in India, for example, people who don't even have physical addresses. So perhaps plus codes could become interoperational with Wikidata PIN numbers, where Wikidata personal identification numbers in their 300 languages, where Wikidata PIN numbers could become the basis for 7.5 billion people at World University and School as well, and for universal basic income experiments. Check out the minute 6 in the minutes posted below this YouTube video. Item number 7 I want to share with you involves our policy about developing policy about wiki adding to World University and Schools wiki pages. There are approximately 725 wiki pages at World University and School in our new WUAS Mirahazen Media Wiki. And that World University and School tends towards, as a sort of set of policies, we tend towards Creative Commons for licensing openness and without advertising, and that these criteria for adding, for people all around the world in many languages, adding resources to World University and Schools wikis will also inform artificial intelligence and machine learning as these coding possibilities, these bots in some cases, start to play a more significant role in adding wiki resources. World University and for example, World University and Schools wikis. World University and School will also come into communication with Wikipedia, Wikimedia, Wikidata in their 300 languages with regard to this, as well as come into conversation with Creative Commons and others as we seek to add resources, facilitate adding resources, facilitate you adding resources. Item 8. So this is about ethno-wiki virtual world graphy, a new social science method, a new STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics method, ethnography with wiki, with virtual worlds, where you can add resources, wiki add resources, ethnographically as an interpretive process to virtual world that World University and School seeks to develop with the TensorFlow chip semiconductor, Google's artificial intelligence software library called TensorFlow, and its new semiconductor or chip, the Tensor Processing Unit, also known as the Edge TPU, Edge Tensor Processing Unit, for image recognition. World University and School would like to collaborate, as one example. Say the TensorFlow chip was built into Google Glass Enterprise, and someone went up the Eiffel Tower and in Paris, and the little chip was in the corner of the glass and facilitating video images streaming in through Google Glass. And the TensorFlow chip was working with TensorFlow software to identify with machine learning and artificial intelligence the images, and then potentially even stream the images of your visit to the Eiffel Tower in Paris into a single realistic virtual Earth, like Google Street View with Google Earth, for the time and the day you were there to build out a realistic virtual Earth. World University and School would like to collaborate with Google TensorFlow chip, the Tensor Processing Unit, around these issues. And further, with regard to a realistic virtual Harbin hot springs and relating to the actual virtual and Harbin book ethnographic projects, again for ethno-wiki virtual world graphy, as a new social science and STEM set of methodologies, and also particularly as classrooms for students. Okay, the last item on the World University and School side of today's WS News and Question and Answer, item 9, I'd like to share with you is just that World University and School has filed the Statement of Information, the SI 100 form, with the state of California successfully. So this is to say that we're a nonprofit in California. And we also, in early January, filed the federal US nonprofit 990N form with the federal government. So we're up to date with the state of California and the US. So I think I'd like to bring to close this WS News and Question and Answer here, and invite you to come participate next Monday, which may be around March 1st, it may be February 29th. Please look at your calendars. And thank you for watching this. To see the recording of this, go to youtube.com/WORLD. UNIVANDSCH. It's Monday, February 24th, 2020. World University and School is also posting much to twitter.com/WORLD UNIVANDSCH. Questions, ideas you want to share, please email info at worlduniversityandschool.org. And the last, worlduniversityandschool.org, is also our website address. So thank you. I'm Scott McLeod. Join the conversation, the wiki conversation, or the electronically mediated conversations as World University and School continues to grow, seeking 500 to 2,000 undergraduate students for free to students MIT OpenCourseWare-centric degrees this autumn 2020. Thank you, and see you next week.